You're still here. That means something. It means you're curious and the question is still alive for you. The one I left you with at the end of the last video. You need the job to get the experience. You need the experience to get the job. What if this is the thing that solves that? I think you already know the answer, and I think part of you has known since maybe the first video. Today, I want to show you why that instinct is right. Before I do, I want to say one thing directly. None of the women I'm about to tell you about knew anything about wellness or nutrition when they started. Not one of them. That wasn't a prerequisite. It was just the starting line. And none of them knew what they were doing yet. That's not a flaw in their story. That's the whole point of having someone beside you who does. What they had in common was simpler than that. They were all looking for something they couldn't manufacture on their own. An opening, a way in, a gap they could see but couldn't fill alone. Sound familiar? Audrey. Audrey got involved just before college started. Marketing student, smart, generally interested in how businesses worked. She came in not because she had a master plan, but because the environment made sense and the work felt real. She built a client base. She learned how to have conversations that moved people toward better health. She learned what a real sales cycle looks like from the inside. She learned systems and tools she didn't know she'd need until she actually needed them. She earned gap-filling money along the way, entertainment, shopping, savings, the kind of income that makes a student life feel a little less like survival mode. As college got serious and her degree took center stage, she stepped back from the business. That's really not the point of her story. The point is what she took with her. She had an interest in real estate, landed an internship, and eventually a full-time role after graduation. The skills she built as a wellness coach, how to talk to people, follow up, work a system, think about a customer experience, how to use the digital tools that weren't incidental. They were the resume. They were the reason she walked into those rooms with something real to say. Today, she's got her own apartment, a gym membership she actually uses, the life she was picturing when she was sitting right where you are now. Audrey's story isn't about staying. It's about what you build while you're here that goes with you, anywhere you go next. Sierra. Sierra was an education major who got involved at the suggestion of a friend. She wasn't chasing an income goal. She just understood that the environment was fun, the community was healthy, and it seemed worth a look. She kept showing up. She kept doing the work. And somewhere in the middle of her college years, the income started to become something she hadn't expected it to be. By the time she graduated, she was earning close to a full-time income doing this not full-time. That's not common. I want to be honest about that, but it is possible with hard work, focus, and the willingness to stay consistent when nothing dramatic is happening. Sierra coaches cheer, and that was always a passion for her. She never had to choose between it and a paycheck. She serves clients in her community, works alongside colleagues, building weight loss challenges, running challenges, events that create exactly the kind of cohort energy that makes this feel like more than work. She built a life where it all fits alongside her travels, life adventures, all of it. Sierra's story is about never having to trade one thing she loved for another. Kristen got involved before college even started. Education major, got in, learned how to help clients, get real results, and when the school started, she got serious and she stepped back. She stayed connected on the edges, not growing, not pushing, just there. The door stayed open because that's how this works. After graduation, the reconnection happened on her own terms. She came back more deliberately, built her client base with intention, and grew it into something sustainable, something full-time and fully hers. The call of the classroom became distant until it was time to homeschool her own kids. The degree wasn't wasted. It just found a different manifestation. Today, Kristen is married, a mom of 3 with another one on the way, working full-time inside this business on her schedule, around her family, inside the community she built. Kristen's story is the one I want you to sit with for a second. She started, stopped, stepped away, came back when the time was right. The door was still open. The decision you make once, you don't have to carry it forever. You can walk through the door, return on your own timeline, if at all. 3 women, 3 completely different relationships with the same starting point. None of them started with confidence. They started with curiosity and a decision to show up. The confidence came from doing it. And here's what I want you to notice about all three. What they learned inside this didn't stay inside this. It became part of how they think, how they communicate, how they move through the world. The personal and the professional wove together in a way that doesn't separate cleanly. That's not a side effect. That's the point. One built skills, took them somewhere else entirely. One found something that fit her life so completely she never wanted to leave. And one started, stepped away, came back, and built something that belongs entirely to her now. 3 paths, 1 starting line, your starting line. I said something in the last video I want to close out now. Being young isn't a limitation you grew out of. It's an advantage you have right now and only right now. Here's what that looks like when it's real. Audrey's first conversations weren't cold calls. Sierra's clients were her people. Kristen's community came from showing up consistently in the spaces she already lived in. None of them had to manufacture trust or earn credibility from scratch. It was already there in the relationships they already had. That kind of proximity doesn't come from credentials. It doesn't come from years of experience. It comes from being in the same chapter of life as the people around you. And right now, in this season, you have it in a way that nobody older ever will again. I want to name something before we go any further because I know it's there, even if you haven't said it out loud. What if I start and it doesn't work? What if I'm not cut out for this? What if I try and fall short in front of people? Totally real questions. Every single person who has ever started something felt exactly those things. It doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're standing at the edge of something unfamiliar. And the answer to all of those fears is the same. You're not supposed to know how to do this yet. That's the whole point of having a mentor. You don't have to figure it out alone. You figure it out alongside someone who has already been where you're standing and knows exactly where the walls are. Audrey didn't know. Sierra didn't know. Kristen didn't know. They started willing. The capability came from doing it. Okay, one more thing I want you to know for a different reason. In May of 2020, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I spent most of 20 and 21 in the hospital. I wasn't running my business. I wasn't showing up for my team. I was focused entirely on getting well. The business kept running. The income continued. The team kept going. It ran without me. And I walked back through the door. It was still there. That's what a real business looks like. And that's what I'm here to help you build. We came together because you've got a need that doesn't have a clean solution. You could try to put something together on your own. Of course, find a family friend willing to trade learning experience for free labor. Ask if there's a corner of the family business you could call yours for a season. Cobble together something that gets you partway there, and maybe that works. Some people figure it out that way. But what if what you're looking for is a structured path that was purpose-built exactly for the situation you're in right now, with a mentor beside you, a cohort around you, real income coming in while you're learning, and skills that go with you anywhere you go next. You don't have to build that from scratch. It already exists. The only question is whether or not you want a guide. I've been that person for people who started exactly where you are. If you want that, I'm here. Here's where we start. On July 13th, I'm hosting a live Zoom session. It's called The Hidden Gap, the real world skills nobody's been grading you on, what they actually are, why they matter, and how to build them before you need them. I'll walk you through the full accelerator structure, what a real week looks like, the math, what happens in the first 90 days. And at the end of the session, I'm opening enrollment for the July 27th cohort. That's where the conversation starts. Not with an application, not with a commitment, just a free session where you get to see the whole picture and decide for yourself. Reserve your spot. I'll send you everything you need, no pressure, no pitch, just the information you need to decide for yourself. That's all I've ever asked of anyone. I'll be sending you the Zoom link, so keep your eyes on the email for that. And I'll see you on the 13th.